Jenny is asking, can you see the pencil line grids on the back of the piece through the fabric? And how do you reference the lines if you draw the grids on the back of your fabric when you're cross stitching? Hi, my name is Elle. I'm a cross stitch artist and designer here on TikTok, and let's get into it. So let's start with the first half of this question. Can you see the pencil marks through the fabric if you draw the grid on the back with a pencil? So as you can see, all of these guys up here on the wall behind me, all of them have grids on the back of them, and you cannot see the pencil marks from the front side of it. That is also true when you're working on a piece and you're looking at it a little bit closer up. If I really shine a light through the back of it, you can kind of see a little bit of ghosting, but really you cannot see the lines through the fabric unless you have a light directly behind it. So how do I reference the lines if they're on the back? So let's take a look at this Butterfree piece that I'm working on right now. If I had drawn the grid on the front, up here would be 0, 0 for me. So how do I know where 0, 0 is if I can't see the grids? I promise I'm not being sassy. The short answer is I just flip the piece over. So if I know this is where 0, 0 should be, when I flip it over, 0, 0 is up here. So what I typically do is I'm counting by tens to get wherever I need to go. And then from there, I poke my needle through just a little bit so I see where that hole is on the front. And then I just count over and down in whichever direction I need from that point. So that is how I use gridding on the backs of my piece. And the benefit for me is that I don't have to wash my piece to get the marks off, or I don't have to iron my piece to get the marks off when I'm done with my piece. All I have to do is hoop it and stick it up on the wall. All of these still have grids on the backs of their pieces. You can't see them once I'm done and I finish the piece off. And I didn't have to do the extra step of either washing or ironing the piece, depending on what type of pen I used to make the grid marks. There are a few different methods if you do want to put grids on the front of your piece. There is friction pens, which will erase with heat, so you will either iron or go at them with a hair dryer to get the pen marks off. There are water-soluble pens, so you'll have to wash your piece when you're done with it with a little bit of water, possibly some soap. I'm not sure exactly what's needed to get those off. I've never used that method myself. And there are also ways to use thread to baste the grid marks onto your piece as well so that you can see them from the front and the back. So there are a few different methods that you can choose. Figure out what works the best for you. This is just what happens to work for me so that I don't have any extra steps when I'm done with my piece. I just frame it and I put it on the wall. Thank you so much for your question. I hope that helps. And as always, happy stitching.